in that conversation, talking subject to something. And the way we approach the conversation is subject to. Now, remember now, I'm in an appointment, and Tony, I want you to take this away. Before making a cash offer, before making any offer, before talking about the offers, I want you to say, we have numbers of ways that we can take care of you. Okay. Before even making a cash offer. Because after making a cash offer, now it's like a surprise, like, wait a minute, you got something else you can do? You know what I'm saying? Right. We want to say it up front. Right. So that way it ain't us trying to sell them.
And they can think about it.
Exactly. We don't want to ever make anybody feel sold. Nobody wants to be sold, bro. Right. Nobody wants to be sold. But people get sold every day. Does that make sense? Right. But if we frame it to where it's like, hey, Tony, before I make an offer, I want you to know we got several options we can do. Okay? We can buy the house outright. We can take over your payments, or we can list the property on the market because we have a listing license. Remember, I hit them with that early. Yeah. I hit them with that. I mean, we can list it too, but because we're licensed. Little seeds, so I can come back to that. And then I'm like trying to figure it all out. It's like, wait, you got this option, this option, this option? No, we got 3 options to take care of you. So the first option is this. Second option is this. Third option is this. What makes sense? Right? Now, the next thing, when we're talking subject to, I love the way you approached it. And we're making a cash offer, whatever that looks like. You did a great job of asking, what do you owe? That's a qualifying question for subject to. Right? Now, I'm going to tell you the way I frame the subject to conversation in the cash offer, like I string it all together. First, I'm going to ask a question, because we already knew his interest rate. We knew how much he owed. We knew all that. So I didn't have to ask him. I knew that it would work. But if I'm talking to somebody that I don't know, I don't want them to feel like we always offer subject to. I don't want them to feel like we always do creative finance, because the truth is we don't. If you got a 7% interest rate, creative finance don't work. So we want them to feel like they have to be qualified for it. When you switch it from somebody like it's always something we offer versus do you qualify, a person then now they're applicant. They feel like they need to apply. And they feel like, you know what I'm saying? So this is the way I'm gonna frame it, Tony. Okay, cool. Cash offer doesn't work, man. Tony, I completely understand. But we have another home buying program. But I have to see if you qualify. Right? I have to see if you're somebody a candidate for it. So I'm gonna ask you a couple questions, and depending on the answers, I can see where we go from here. Is that okay? Mm-hmm. Yeah, cool. Okay, cool. Boom. Now I got permission to ask intimate questions, whatever. And you also feel like you have to qualify for it. So I'm gonna say, Tony, what's your interest rate? How much do you owe? You already got that. That was a good job. So you owe 101. I know you told me you owe 115. Cool. And what's your time off moving out? Cool. And what's your next step? Like, what you got going on next? I found that out from him early. He wants to go get training, blah, blah, blah. And help me understand what he needs. Remember, I was out front. I said, man, okay, he needs money. If you want to go do what he wants next. But some people like, I'm not just going to rent a house, or go rent an apartment, go live with my friend. Okay, cool. You don't need that much now. Let's talk about that. But again, in the conversation, we have another home buying program, not creative finance, not owner finance, not subject to. We don't want to complicate those words yet.
Right, because
they don't know nothing about it. And when people hear creative finance, believe it or not, what they get intimidated? They get intimidated. Creative finance. Right. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So we have another home buying program. I want to see if you qualify for it. Do you mind if I ask you a couple questions? Sure. I'm asking this right. How much do you owe? So on and so forth. What's next for you? Okay, cool. Let's take note of that. Okay. Dang, they got a 3% interest rate. Perfect. They only owe 100,000. The house is 150. Perfect. You know that. Now it's like, okay, cool. You know what? Tony, I think that y'all are going to be a good candidate. I think that you check all the boxes for a home buying program, man. Can I let you know what it looks like? Sure. What's a home buying program? I'm not going to say 30,000 now. Because people, after you say that, they marry that. They marry it in their mind. They think 30. Boom, they already spent it. Boom, I can get this, I can get this, I can get that, I can get that. Boom, you promised them 30K, and you probably we don't know if we can do that. Right. We probably can't do that. It probably does not make sense. So that's what I'm going to say. We're going to pay you a reasonable amount down. Typically, we pay a reasonable amount down, and we take over your payments. Does that sound like something you would like to do? We're talking about. What's the first question you have when somebody says to you?
What's the original amount?
There you go. And what I'm going to say is, well, reasonable for everybody is different. What's an amount that you feel comfortable with for us to give you and you move out and we take over your monthly payments? What does that look like? minimum of $20,000 now. Boom. They said 20. You offer 30. Yeah. You don't even know that man only need 10.
Right, bro, listen to that. Now they gotta be that halfway. Or full.
Mm-hmm. We ain't talking 30. I'm offering y'all. Old dollar not coming out of my mouth. We pay a reasonable amount now. Remember I told her to do it. And he was like, well, what are you looking at now? What are you looking at now? That's when somebody shut down, right? Go here with it. When they go there with it, they shut down. So, what's a reasonable amount? Well, man, I mean, what are you looking to get? Well, I need $55,000. That's what he said. Or more. Because everybody offered me $55,000. I still can't offer him 30. I understand that.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna pay the price of the home on terms. So your price on terms. So again, when I'm pitching that creative finance, I'm not saying creative finance, I'm not saying subject to, I'm not saying anything. I'm gonna say typically we pay a reasonable amount down and we take over your payments. If you know, depending on the situation. I'm gonna be very general with it. Because I want them to ask questions. They need to ask me that. That's gonna show interest. I'm gonna create that interest. If you say a dollar amount, and it may be way too low for them if you say something not true. Or maybe way over what they expected, and it may be way over what we can actually do. Because now the cool thing about creative finance deals and subject to is we can assign them just like wholesales. So we can still create a wholesale fee even if we don't take it on as a subject to. But that's when I'm going to approach that conversation. So that's the only thing that I would edit and help you with. But bro, you did a great job understanding. You did a great job overcoming my objection and not letting let you in. You did a great job. Now, something I wanted to talk about though, another big piece of in that appointment. Now, what in the appointment could Tony done better in that conversation?
I don't know.
Yeah, it's still fresh. I love that. I love that because I want you to pick up on it. What I think you could have done better of is when I said, when you were like, you're like, so man, how you been? Man, I've had better days. Dive in on it. Dive in on it. We want to build the satisfaction. Better days, man. Tell me more about that, man. What's going on? F the house. F the repairs. F that. He said, in your mind, you probably think, well, he said I said only had 5 minutes.
Right.
People forget that shit. People really do. Especially if you build a relationship with them, time is out the window. They like you if you're able to ask the right questions. If they really want to do something, people want to talk to somebody anyway.
Right.
I've had better days, man. You stop abruptly. Hey, better days, man? What's going on?
Right.
This person curious. I still can be a jerk, like, that's all good. Nah, man, like, really, like, I want to understand, man. I understand what it's like to go through stuff, man. Bro, you there to be their friend. You're there to help them. Dive in on that, bro. If you hear any dissatisfaction, what I want y'all to listen to in conversations, when we're talking to sellers, I want y'all to listen for words you don't know the meaning to. Now, I don't mean, because here's the truth. Why do you want to sell this house? Man, it's too small. CJ is a lot taller than me. Smaller than him is different than small for me. You see what I'm saying? It's different. So when CJ say, man, it's a lot, it's just small. Man, tell me more about that, man. Small how? I don't know the meaning to his small. You don't know the meaning to my small. Right? Think about that in every context. If I say a word, man, it's just not what it used to be. You do not know what he means when he says that. Because you don't know what it used to be. And you don't know what changed. I'm going to ask, man, tell me more about that, man. What changed? You know what I'm saying? That's what we're looking to do. We're looking for words that we do not know the meaning to, dive in on those words. Okay?